Hi, I'm Larry Hatch with the New Ornamentals Society, and I want to talk today about junipers we need. Yes, I really am serious. As most of us know, junipers are widely overplanted and abused in the modern landscape. They're kind of cheap fillers. They're kind of an easy route to profit by people that I call land scrapers. One guy in a rusty pickup, and pseudo designers. It's kind of a lazy way to get the job done, planting a bunch of cheap junipers. Can I hear an amen on that? Well, the problem is the worst cultivars are overplanted, but the best cultivars are underplanted and underused. And I want to talk about some of these amazing junipers today that we really do need and have a vital, valid function in the landscape. They have to be used in the right context, the right forms, colors, a place where nothing better will grow, and that they're the best choice for that space in context, again, where nothing better will grow, and they are a top choice. The picture that you've been looking at for the last minute or so is the esteemed juniper collection at the University of Tennessee, off of campus towards Oak Ridge, the old Arboretum. And it has a beautiful, diverse collection of new and old junipers, from the low horizontalis that mature at 4 inches high, to some of the larger Chinensis and scopulorums and virginiana, which could reach 200 feet tall sometime. The first juniper I want to call your attention to is the Chinese juniper, Juniperus Chinensis Plumosa Aurea. It's much different and much better than the golden Pfitzer junipers for many opportunities. First of all, it's semi-dwarf, and it has a more upright aspect to it. It's a true Chinese juniper. It's not one of the hybrids, and the Japanese have savored it as both a bonsai plant and as a garden plant for centuries. They love it. We love it. It should be used a lot more. The next juniper is a sport of the Meyer juniper, Juniper squamata blue spreader, and it's a very beautiful spreading silvery blue, frosty blue juniper. It doesn't grow everywhere, but where you can grow it, it's a spectacular plant. This example was from the Bernheim Forest and Arboretum in Kentucky, and it makes a wonderful plant that's about 3 feet tall and potentially up to 6 or 7, 8 feet wide. A very, very special juniper, and one that we need to see a lot more of. Our next juniper is one I have a little bit of bias on because I discovered it myself as a sport. It's Juniperus horizontalis LIMEGLOW, and that's a trademark name. Its cultivar is NosLg, and it's a sport of the Youngstown juniper. Unlike the Motherlode junipers, it's a more upright, spreading, arching, spreading juniper. Not as big as the Pfitzers and not as small as Motherlode. Gets these beautiful lime, chartreuse, and yellow colors in summer. And in the fall and winter, it takes on some really funky orange, purple, amber, brown, green colors. It's very interesting. Our next juniper you may recognize, but probably people don't recognize it by its correct name. It's the green sargent juniper, or Juniperus Chinensis variety, sargentii Viridis. A lot of the sargent junipers are blue and gray. This is a super green one, tough as nails. You can see it goes down this dry hillside. It's a perfect context for a plant like that, where very few other things would be as attractive. It's not as rigid as the Parsons juniper, and it's much greener, lusher, fuller than those. Needs to have more use. The common junipers, even though they're native to North America, Europe, and Asia, they're not as widely seen in North America as they should be. This is a Juniperus Communis gold cone. It's more of a frosty yellow, but it's a beautiful plant, dwarf, stays very small, and there are literally hundreds of cultivars of common juniper. The Europeans are selecting many. They're adapted as virtually zero maintenance plants, and those cultivars are coming here. One of the cultivars I picked out, and again I have pictures of dozens of them, is called Silver Miles, seen here at the Dawes Arboretum. It's a very spectacular plant, upright arching, a little bit like the Chinensis plumosa, but it's a much durable plant, and it has a dark foliage with silvery stomates, so you get kind of a silvery green look to it. Very attractive plant we should see a lot more of. Our next juniper is Juniperus Pei, and I've noticed some nurseries this is about the only juniper they'll grow. It's a semi-dwarf, kind of ovoid shaped juniper that's come to attention in recent years. It stays small. It's kind of a bluish green, very classy juniper. It's the juniper for people that hate junipers, if you will. And fortunately, it's come into a new beautiful golden yellow form called Hulsdonk Yellow, and that is a registered trademark now, and I believe it's also patented. That's come into the United States, and as you can see from this photo, it's an absolutely spectacular semi-dwarf upright juniper. Next is a picture of Motherlode from John Isley and the Isley Nursery in Oregon. Again, it was a sport of the blue rug or Wiltonii junipers, and it's still an excellent choice where no better plant can be grown. They can burn a little bit in sun, as does LIMEGLOW, but in the right context, it's a super choice. Here's a picture from the Keith Arboretum in Chapel Hill showing two spectacular junipers. The SAYBROOK Gold juniper from Girard Nurseries, and the Spartan Juniper, which is not a Chinese juniper. It's actually a Juniper scopulorum when it was analyzed taxonomically. And those two are wonderful. Narrow green upright and spreading dark gold arching foliage. Here's another picture of SAYBROOK Gold. Again, can you think of a better plant in that context? Going outside the box a little bit is a rarer juniper called Juniper cedrus. It's a true species. Reminds people a little of Juniperus rigida, but it's a very frosty grayish foliage. It only grows hardy in zone 6 to 7, but you can buy it in the trade. Isley has it. An interesting choice if you want something different. Next is Juniperus Chinensis Aurea, known as Young's Golden Juniper. This is a plant at the Maymont Estate in Richmond. It's been sold as Maymont Gold, but it really is the old British Young's Juniper, and it's got kind of a twisting, spiraling gold look. It is a cousin to the Hollywood Juniper, which comes from that same material. The last plant is a really old, about 200-year-old Eastern Red Cedar at I think that's the New Bern Cemetery in North Carolina. And if you look close, it actually has Spanish moss on it. And my point with this last picture is to say, use your native junipers, wherever state or country you're in. Look at your native junipers, get good forms of them. They'll last hundreds of years, and in the right context, where nothing is better, they'll be your best friends. If you want to learn more on junipers, I wrote a book last year called Garden Junipers, and we cover 760 different types of juniper with hundreds of pictures, all the latest research, the correct names. It's a confusing genus. There's been a lot of DNA work, chromosome work, morphological work, historical work, and this is 30 years of my research and the latest literature from all the juniper experts, including recent DNA work. Brings clarity to the genus, makes it easy to understand. You can get it by joining the new Ornamentals Society at level 2, and this book is included with our conifer resources.